Fortune's Progeny, The Ascent. Episode 1, The Sandbox and the First Wall. The city's evening hum was a familiar drone to Trent Ashford, a white noise that matched the static of his life. On the kitchen counter of his studio apartment sat two artifacts of his 28 years, a half-eaten slice of grocery store birthday cake with a single unlit candle, and a printed performance review from Kingston & Rowe Consulting. The review's wording was polite but damning, lacks initiative, insufficient real-world experience. Its truth was quantified by the other number that governed his existence, $42,317.18, his student debt. This was the modest, manageable life he had built, a careful, dead-laden trudge toward an uncertain future. His phone buzzed with comforting texts, a dinner invitation from his mother, a promise of cheap drinks from his friend Leo. He smiled at the smallness of it all. Then a new message chimed. His older sister, Anya. It was not a happy birthday.
Trent, the life you know is a sandbox. The real game begins now. Check your secure vault. Credentials, your childhood fear.
A cold dread, sharp and immediate, shot through him. Childhood fear. The painting in the hall. The stern, unsmiling portrait of an ancestor in his grandparents' old house that had frightened him as a boy. He'd confessed that silly fear to Anya during a thunderstorm. Hands trembling, he followed her instructions, logging into an encrypted cloud service he never knew he had. A single folder awaited. Progeny Protocol. Inside, a video file. He clicked play. Anya's face filled the screen, but it was an Anya he'd never seen. Her hair sharp, her suit expensive, her eyes holding a gravity that transformed her from a cheerful graphic designer into a corporate emissary.
Hello, little brother.
The recording began, her voice cool and stripped of sisterly warmth.
If you're watching this, I have delivered the key, and everything you believe about our family is a benevolent fiction.
Trent's grip on the table edge tightened.
Our modest middle-class life, dad's sales job, mom's bookkeeping, it was your training ground, a controlled environment to see who you would become when you believed no one was watching. Our surname, Ashford, is the public face of the Aethelgard Holdings Group. Our great-grandfather built an empire spanning private equity, sustainable tech, and global logistics. Its worth is measured in 12 figures. You are a direct descendant, and you are not the only one.
The screen flashed images of sleek corporate towers, massive cargo ships, and tech startups, all bearing a small, intricate A logo.
There are 5 of us in your generation, cousins, each raised in similar, modest circumstances, unaware of the others. Grandfather's will is clear. The empire will not be divided. It will be led by one, a single progeny who proves themselves worthy not of birthright, but of stewardship.
The boring family reunions? The unremarkable house? All a front? Trent's mind reeled, trying to recontextualize his entire history.
You have entered the Progeny Protocol. You have 1 year. Your challenge is twofold. First, master yourself. Achieve complete personal financial sovereignty using the foundational principles you will be taught. Second, master capital. You will be given a test sum to steward. Grow it, ethically and strategically.
She leaned forward, her gaze piercing the digital barrier.
Succeed, and you will be named heir presumptive, with full access to the Aethelgard fortune. Fail, and you return to your old life, your memory of this offer erased, with a generous but finite trust. You will be a minor shareholder, forever on the sidelines. Your first advisor arrives tomorrow at 7 a.m. Do not be late. And Trent, trust no one outside the protocol. The competition has already begun.
The screen went black. The ordinary sounds of the city now seemed to come from another planet. The cake, the debt, the modest life, it all crumbled into dust, revealing a terrifying, glittering abyss of possibility. He looked at the unlit candle. For the first time, he felt a spark that wasn't of his making. It was fear, fury, and beneath it, a deep, resonant hunger he never knew he possessed. He struck a match. The faint, determined crackle of the single flame in the quiet apartment was the only sound, a tiny declaration of war against the ordinary. Sleep was a foreign concept. He spent the night in a haze of shock and calculation, the dawn's gray light finding him still in his clothes, waiting for the promised hammer to fall. It arrived with a knock at 7 a.m., as precise and uncompromising as a gunshot. The man in the doorway had the build of a retired pugilist and the eyes of a philosopher.
Trent Ashford, I am Silas Reed, your Foundation advisor for the Progeny protocol. May I enter?
His voice was a calm, gravelly baritone that brooked no dissent. Without waiting for an answer, Silas stepped inside, his sharp gaze cataloging the IKEA furniture and the damning performance reviews still on the counter, as if they were clues to a crime. He did not sit. He was a man of standing pronouncements. From a sleek leather folio, he produced a single sheet of heavy cardstock and placed it on the coffee table, like a judge delivering a verdict.
Your sister has given you the paradigm. My role is to give you the tools. The Aethelgard fortune was not built on luck. It was built on systems, unbreakable, timeless principles of behavior and finance. You will learn them. You will live them. They are called the foundation steps.
Trent scanned the stark, numbered list. 1. Save $1,000 for a starter emergency fund. 2. Pay off all debt using the debt avalanche. 3. Save 3 to 6 months of expenses. 4. Invest 15% of income for retirement. 5. Save for children's future education. 6. Pay off your home early. 7. Build wealth and give. It seemed absurdly simplistic.
This is the secret to a billion-dollar empire? A savings plan for teenagers?
Silas's expression hardened, a flicker of disappointment.
It is the secret to discipline, to winning the war against your own impulsivity and fear. You are currently at step negative. You have consumer debt and no safety net. Therefore, we begin at the beginning.
A second sheet appeared, a brutal distillation of Trent's finances, income, expenses, and the monstrous $42,317.18 debt.
Your first task, Foundation Step 1.
Silas stated, his tone leaving no room for debate.
You will save $1,000 as fast as humanly possible. You will sell what you do not need. You will take on extra work. This $1,000 is not for investing. It is not for debt. It is a wall, a tiny psychological wall between you and life's next stupid emergency. So when your car tire blows, you do not add to the debt. You fix it, and you stay on the path. You have 2 weeks.
Frustration bubbled in Trent.
I have a test sum coming. Why scrounge for $1,000 when I'm going to be managing millions?
Silas's look was one of profound pity.
If you cannot be trusted with $1,000 of your own sweat, you cannot be trusted with $1,000 of the family's capital, let alone $1 billion. The man who manages the fortune must first manage himself. The test sum is irrelevant until you pass this test.
He pointed a thick finger at the first line on the page.
This is the foundation. Everything crumbles without it.
He turned to leave, pausing at the threshold.
One more thing. Your relationships. You may inform your friend Leo and your romantic interest, Maya, that you have a demanding professional mentorship. It is a version of the truth. Observe their reactions. Do they support your growth or resent the time it takes? This, too, is part of the assessment.
The door clicked shut. Trent was alone with the list. The grand vision of empires had been reduced to a single maddening number: $1,000. The spark from the previous night's candle was now a cold, focused flame. It was not exciting. It was work. His eyes fell on his beloved Fender guitar in the corner, a relic of a more carefree self. He looked at his collection of sneakers. He thought of his dormant freelance design skills. He picked up his phone, its screen a portal to his old, fading life. He took a picture of the guitar, the flash reflecting off the polished wood. With a few taps, he listed it for sale. The rapid, decisive clicking of the keyboard was the only sound in the room, the first notes of a new, austere symphony. The ascent, he was beginning to understand, was not a leap, but a climb, and the first handhold was $1,000 wall he had to build with his own two hands, selling off pieces of his past to buy a fragment of security for his future.